Welcome to Two Wheels of Rainbow, and today I'm going out in this bad boy, V85 Moto Guzzi TT. Whoa, Jesus. It's a real retro looking bike. Just check the mirrors. Yeah, that's all good. Oh, that's weird. Okay. And whoa, noise of it. So I don't know if you can see there's a V twin, but it's kind of mounted horizontally, I suppose. And it's an air-cooled engine. Are we in? Yeah, we're in gear. There's a screen there, I don't know if you can see it. It's pretty cool looking, it's kind of blue and white, it's nice. Like, where's the gear? Ah, there, neutral. Okay, so yeah, heading out in this bad boy now today. So this is lots of kind of little bits and pieces that I have not looked at. The screen is fairly identical, or fairly similar, I suppose, to my RSV4, which is sitting over there. So just a bit of background. So today I'll be testing a few bikes. This one is obviously the Moto Guzzi V85, but I'm also going to be going out in a Toronto, which that guy is testing there. That I've
meant to bring them all to the fuel station this morning. That is full, is it?
Yeah, it's full.
Yeah, that's grand. I must have forgot one.
And I'll be going out on that Africa Twin. I think that's the LD model, I think. That has the small screen. That's kind of the off-road adventure type model. And I'll also be going out on a T7 as well. So, or Tenere 700, should I say. So, the grumpy bike racer will be laughing at me, because I am not used to these kind of upright bikes. I'm used to be kind of being down and flat. So, the first thing I notice straight away is that the bars are really wide. It feels really different from my own bike. Like, really different. So we're just waiting on one of the bikes to be fueled up. So just a bit of background, today is Megabikes' open day. So they've a range of bikes that you can go out on. They've got those new Tracer 700s as well there, just off to that I'm looking at now. They look pretty tasty as well. Wouldn't mind going out on one of them today, but I think there's only 4 slots, so, and I want to go out on that Tenere 700. So I probably don't really need to go out on the Toronto because they have an RSV4. I know what it's like, but at the same time, it's a Toronto. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what's available and take it from there. I'm going to break these videos into 4 anyway, so this will be the first one. Okay, straight away I can tell you the engine is really smooth in this. Really, really, really smooth actually. There's no quick shifter. I thought there would have been a quick shifter there for a sec, but I suppose this is a toury bike. So I think this bike is limited to about 4,000 or 5,000 RPM because it still hasn't had its first service yet. But it's yeah, geez, it's nice. The engine is really smooth, like straight away. It's the first thing I'm after noticing. Like the engine is really, really, really smooth. First gear, so round we go, down onto the M50. And there's, you know what? There's actually automatic cancel indicators on this thing. I just thought we're going around the bend there, and that was the right indicator went off after I went around the corner. That is a nice little feature. Like, I've never seen that on a motorcycle before. Automatic cancel indicators. So that's already kind of, yeah, that's a thing that I like straight away. I've got an awful lot of wind noise on my helmet. Probably just the wrong helmet for this kind of bike, I suppose. I can't stress to you how nice the engine is in this, how smooth it is, like how it's just really, really, really nice. So this is a real retro looking bike, you know, like real retro looking. This doesn't look, I suppose this would be kind of the same class as a BMW F85 or something like that, like, you know, those kind of mid to large size touring bikes, or adventure touring type bikes. But this one is more expensive obviously than them. Like, you know, I got the prices. I put the prices up on the screen now of this bike and its competitors, I suppose. And as far as I'm aware, this one is a little bit more expensive than the rest. But what you're getting for that more expense is, you know, something which is truly unique, I suppose. You're not going to see many of these on the road. These are going to be rare, you know. Well, actually, that being said, they might not be now that we have a Moto Guzzi dealer in Dublin, but you never know. But I think you're paying for that kind of nicheness, you know. That's how I kind of felt I was with the RSV4. So, and I have to say, the seating position on this is, bar the wind which is blowing on my helmet, like if I put my head down just a slight bit like that, it's grand, that's perfect. As soon as I'm up the screen, I think I need a little thing on the front of it just to stop the wind going up that bit more. But the seating position on this, without a doubt, is the most comfortable on any bike I've ever been on. Like, should only rev up to 7,000 RPM there. You can see as soon as I go past about 4.5, those little amber lights come on the dashboard to warn me it's time to shift up. Yeah, this is a class bike. It's really smooth. Like, it doesn't feel like a V-twin. It does, but it's very, very smooth. You can do an awful lot of miles on this, I'd say. I like these things as well, these little cover things that come on the front of it. You don't get these kind of on many bikes. I suppose this kind of bike is, it's kind of a cross between a scrambler, like that thing in front of me, like not a scrambler in a traditional sense, not a kind of an off-road scrambler, and an adventure bike. You know, it's kind of a dual purpose thing that can do both. You know, you can go on an adventure in this, or if you just want to go down to the shop, down to the cafe and have coffee with a few mates, this is the bike you can do that in. Kind of similar to an R9T racer, but you know, with all the comfort and adventure ability on it as well. And this one currently has the Moto Guzzi panniers fitted to the side of it. I can't show them to you now, obviously, because I'm driving. I'll pop them up on the screen now, and they actually look really nice. I don't know if they come with it, if you get them with it. So yeah, it's a nice bike. Really nice bike. Now, it's actually, I can't get how comfortable this compared to the RSV4. I suppose I'm suffering on the RSV4 in comparison to this. So this bike doesn't have an electronic suspension, just as a standard kind of out of the box suspension. Nothing too fancy. One thing I am noticing that when you go down the gears, so I'm in first gear now, and so just above the speed, there's like a little blue dash, and then see that just changes to 1. So it doesn't know what gear it's in until you drive kind of for a second or two, like, you know, which is kind of weird. I don't know if I like that now. I think she can go into the bends. Oh fuck. Fucking stones, babe. Stones in the middle of the road. See there now, watch. I'm dropped down the gear. I know I'm in second, but the gear hasn't kind of updated the dash yet. The dashboard hasn't updated to say I'm in second. I won't change gear. There he goes. Pops on. Second. I don't know why it does that. I might ask the lads when they go back. But that kind of would bug me a little bit. So this engine is actually air-cooled, believe it or not. So the fact that the V-twin is mounted, I suppose, horizontally or laterally, I suppose, if that's the word you want, the correct word to use, means you get a lot of cool air around it. So it doesn't really need doesn't need to be liquid or water cooled or whatever the case may be. It has an oil cooler on it, but yeah, I like those kind of air cooled engines. They're kind of old school, like, you know, they've got that old school. There's a lad. They've got a kind of case of, you know, they've got a kind of a feel of old and new put together, which is actually quite nice. Like, if this bike does look very, very retro, like it looks like kind of something from the 80s, like, you know, but it's got all the new modern accessories, I suppose, which are we going, oh, for fuck's sake. The seat is quite comfortable as well. I remember the Grumpy Bike Wizard when he got his 1290, One of the things he didn't like about it was the seat, and there's a lot of lads apparently have said that the standard seat on the 1290 Adventure S is quite rough. He said, but the seat on this is actually really, really comfortable. Like it's really comfortable. I'm going to cane it now a bit. I don't know if you hear this. It's a nice noise out of that engine. I've always had a thing for twins. Like, you know, I like V twin engines. I like V configuration engines, to be honest with you. But I know I had the Beamer there a couple of years ago. And I mean, it was great and all, but we never got the kind of noise out of it that you get out of this. Like, listen to that. Fucking screen flashing red in front of me. Oh, we're going right here. So I don't know if this thing kind of has a traction control system on it at all, or obviously it has ABS. There's a legal requirement now for all new bikes to have ABS. How do you turn the fucking thing off? There it is. Oh, Jesus. So there's the boxes. They're quite nice. Let's do a little walk around. Oh, it only has a single spring. It actually has a single one on the back, but it's mounted in an unusual position. You can see it's just mounted. There's just one, and it's just mounted there, as opposed to the middle. It's mounted directly onto the rear of the bike. So this is shaft driven as well. It's a nice machine. I like them spots actually. You got them nice spotlights and stuff on the front of it. I like the old school look on the front too. It's pretty cool looking. And the pipe work, and even the pipe work, look at that on the front. I wonder will that change colour now, but I like that. No, look, there are actually covers on the outside. There are actually covers on the outside of that. You can see on the other one there's a hole. They'll stay that colour. Even the work on the sign and the logo on the seat. The seat is lovely looking even. Everything is real Italian looking. So yeah, initially when I turned this bike on back at the shop, I thought it was the way the V twin is mounted was the reason I kind of got the shake to the left and right when I started. But it's shaft driven, so that'll be the reason. I actually thought it was chain driven for some reason. The only thing I don't like is the gear thing takes a second to tell you what gear you're in, which is not great really, like, you know. So it still hasn't told me I'm in second yet, even though I know I'm in second. Oh, God. I keep thinking the speed bumps are going to be really severe, but the suspension on this just sorts it all out. It's really nice. Like, I mean, based on what I'm seeing kind of at the moment, I'm in fifth gear. Is there sixth? There is a sixth. You know, you wouldn't be... Oh, Jesus Christ. What the fuck are you doing, man? Fucking transporter truck. Holy fuck. It's that this thing wouldn't have, like, mental top speed, like, you know. You wouldn't be kind of... You wouldn't be... I don't know how comfortable this would be sitting at kind of 150k on a motorway in Germany or something like that. Or Ireland, if you're that kind of person. Oh, got one a bit fast. So I'd say it'd easily do kind of 150, but you'd be sitting kind of at the end of the revs in sixth gear, like, you know. But this bike actually has Brembos on the front of it, like, so it's quite nice. There's quite good brakes on it, you know. Like I said, real retro looking, but with all modern equipment on it. So even on the bumpy road there, like that, I mean, she's holding the ground well, like, you know. Whereas if I was on the RSV4 there, there'd be a lot more leery, let's say. The RSV4 prefers smooth roads. There aren't many of those in Ireland. This is a great bike. This really is an awesome bike. Like. It accelerates quite quick as well. The gears are quite close together. I'm just looking. So this thing tells you as well how far left you have to your your next petrol as well. So I'm just looking down there now. I've been driving this thing say about 20 minutes now, 30 minutes, and it's telling me it's 300. Oh balls! It's telling me 395 kilometers to petrol. I'm out of petrol, should I say. There's all them things there. I'd love to have a play around with the menu, but unfortunately today is just riding the thing day. Because the Piaggio kind of setup for their bikes, their software I suppose, is actually quite good. I know that from the RSV4. She's quite nice now, what to say. I like it. I do like this bike. It's I'd definitely have something like this over, like, you know, if money was no object now, over something like an F850 or possibly one of the 900 Tracers, you know. But there's a 700 Tracer now that's brand new that I have to test as well. I don't know if I'll be going out on that today, but this is a nice bike and it's different. That nicheness is, for me, it's very important. It's the reason I bought the RSV4. Which way am I going? It's very late with the indicators, this lad. That nicheness is so important to me, like, you know. You're driving a Moto Guzzi. It's like it's something different, you know. And if you want something different and you do lots of adventuring and touring, I think this could be the bike for you. Or if you just want to go down to the cafe and grab a coffee with a few lads or lasses, yeah, this is the thing to buy. Well, this is one of the things you could buy. It's a really nice bike, like really nice. I was kind of a bit cautious coming in. I was like, this has got, you know, a lot to beat in terms of what else is out there at the moment, you know, because there are some great kind of mid to large size adventure bikes out there at the moment. I mean, that market it's very cutthroat, but this is definitely doing the thing. It does the thing this thing does. You can tell this is an Italian bike. Everything is just made to look pretty and nice and beautiful, and you know, it's kind of a form over function. Not form over function, but you know, there's an awful lot of, you can tell an awful lot of design went into this to make it look great. And one thing I'll just say as well on this is that they, looking at the pictures online and looking at the, you know, videos and stuff of this myself, the videos don't do, and pictures online don't do this bike justice of how good it looks, like, you know, how pretty it is, particularly this colour, that kind of bronze colour. I don't know what colour that is. Creamy, mauve, magnolia, I don't know colours. I know blue and shit, but this colour looks absolutely fantastic. Like, it's kind of a matte finish on the paintwork as well. It's just really, really, really nice. The noise out of this thing is deadly. If you put a can on it now, I'm sure Aquaprovich will do a can for this, or somebody will do a can for this. Yeah, it's the only problem with kind of niche bikes. If you like kind of customising your bikes and doing things like that, I suppose you don't really need to, because it's already one of a kind, because the bike is so niche. But if you do want to get kind of niche items for, like, I suppose, accessories for it can be difficult to get them. This is something I found with the RC8R. It was very difficult to get an exhaust system for that. Only Aquaprovich made one, and it was a full system, which I didn't want. I just wanted a can, and it was like, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 or something it was for the full system. So this could be the same, you know. It might be a case where nobody makes kind of, you know, nobody makes you know, different accessories and stuff that we're pulling in. Let the lads catch up. But I mean, that doesn't matter, you know, because it's really niche. It's beautiful, like, you know, it's such a nice bike. I really like it. Like, I'd have one of these. This would be in my garage, like. This could very well be in my garage when I get it. And the other thing is, it actually feels really light. I don't know whether it's the centre of gravity is a bit higher on it than other adventure bikes, but it does feel really, really, really light. Like a lot lighter than GS 1200 would be. Like. Oh, there's cruise control on it as well. I fucking love cruise control. I think there's heat grips on it. I think there is, but I don't know how to turn them on. And I'm not going to start fucking around with it at this point. Is there heat grips anywhere? What's that button? I don't know what that button is. I'm not messing around with buttons. Yeah, just on our way back now to the shop. Beautiful bike, really, really beautiful bike. Like, it's I was a little bit skeptical, as I said, but it's yeah, geez, it's a nice yoke. Really nice yoke. Like, I could see myself on one of these. Yeah, so this bike, I think, is kind of a 9 out of 10 for me. I'm very generous with scores though, because I like everything. I think everything is good. 9 out of 10. The reason I'm kind of deducting one mark is, I suppose, I didn't get a good run on a motorway with this. I don't think the red line is a little bit low, and I'd just be concerned about the top speed of this thing and how you'd get on a motorway, you know. But if you're kind of not into kind of doing 150k on a motorway, I mean, that's not going to be a problem for you at all. The other thing is that gear thing there. See, it's gone to that dash then again. I don't like that. It's a tiny little thing. It's a minor thing, but I don't like it. I would imagine maybe they have a software update in a couple of months to try and fix this issue. Like, but that's the only thing I didn't like about it. Look, and the kickstand is grand too. Nice. Ring gear, nice. Yeah. Even the way it goes off, that's cool looking. Yeah, nice bike. Very impressed. I'd definitely have one if money was no object.